we were on the subject of immigrants. And some of my brown kids didn't realize that we had people in other countries that looked just like them. And so I had to depict that on paper to let them know you could travel the world and find someone that looks like you.
You are now listening to the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, the Going North podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer and author of the best-selling book, Stay the Course, Dom Brightman. And you're going to be getting some goodies today from the guest that's up next. Today's episode is sponsored by the Going North Podcast.com shop. Head over to that wonderful website to pick up some merchandise. We got shirts, hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, flags, notebooks, journals, just about almost everything under the sun, even stickers and buttons indeed for your lanyards and for your decorations as well. And we got multiple designs, advance others to advance yourself. We got the Going North Podcast.com logo as well as outread your competition to outlead your competition. And we even got bags too, so check out the wonderful podcast merch shop and be on the lookout for sales. They got wonderful 35% off sales spread out throughout every single month, so that way you can save even more money, so you can get more bang for your buck, so you can bang out your goals through the inspiration you're going to get today on this podcast. Check it out like a library book, my friends. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, is the Going North podcast. And we got another super special, awesome human for you today. That's right, indeed. Thanks to a good buddy, Miss Jackie Anderson, all the way from the land of charm, crime, and crab cakes, Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, wait, that's my city, too. So, yeah, she's from the same city, baby. That's right, indeed. But today's guest is from the West Coast, so West Side. That's right, indeed. West Side, indeed. West Side, but still fabulous because she is a wonderful mother. She's a wife and a preschool teacher that has dedicated her adult life to educating young children, indeed. So, let's give it up for the ZWS, the wonderful Zsata Williams-Spinks. How you doing today, Miss Zsata?
Thank you. I am doing great. Glad to be invited onto your magnificent platform.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's great to have you on today. That's right, indeed. Well, since it's your first time on the show, I usually try to get the backstory of the guest so that way the folks listening will be like, oh, shoot, this one was fabulous, because I know you didn't wake up on fabulous level 99. I'm sure there was some level 30s and level 20s you had to go through to get to level 99 where you are today.
Absolutely. Actually, I'm a mom, as you know, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, and I'm from Baltimore originally, hail from that city. And I moved out to California, took that journey here, and was modeling initially. And then also from there, I became a preschool teacher. Went to school and said, this is something that I really like because I want to pour into these youth. Because, the foundation starts at the ages of 3 and 5. And so I wanted to be that one to be able to give them a firm foundation so that they can get out there and deal with this world once they're older. At least I know that they're grounded and they're set on their way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go on ahead. I didn't know you were still in the middle. Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, no. So, and from there, I just figured, why not start with these building blocks with books for kids? Because that's what they need. They needed to see people like themselves. They need to see that diversity and empathy and inclusion. And so that's what I sought out to do for the children.
Sweet. So I'm talking about doing it for the kids, indeed. That's right, indeed. So my goodness, a background as a model. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. From model to role model. That's right indeed. So my goodness, so did you always have a love for writing growing up on the side on top of everything else you were doing?
I did. I wrote as a child, and my mom used to tell me that there was something special. But when you're that young, you never think, oh, I want to write, I want to be an author. You just write. And it's just one of those things, journaling, writing poetry was just one of my pastimes. And I always loved to read. Reading was my highlight of my day. I read every day. The library was my friend. I went to the library and got books out on a weekly. And as I read, I would always just write little things down. And my mom would always say, there's something special about you. And I'm like, okay, but didn't really think that I had it until I had a college assignment to do. And we had to write a short story. And initially started is because I asked my kids to do a fun project, college project for me to write a story. And they said, no, you write it. Because if you write it, we know it's going to be a good thing. And I'm like, okay. So when I challenge my kids, I have expectations of them to rise to my occasion. So when they challenge me, I had to meet their expectation. And that's what I did. Sat down and wrote the story. There is a rainbow in every.
Ah, yeah, that's right indeed. There's a rainbow in everyone. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. You don't have to worry about being flooded every time to see it either. That's right indeed. Because I heard water was also part of the story, or at least part of the inspiration behind the story.
Absolutely. Because I did travel to Trinidad and just watching because you get rain constantly because it's tropical and then you get the sun and those two blend together creates rainbows. And that's where part of the inspiration came from is that blend of those things. And I'm figuring, okay, well, one of the things kids love is rainbow. Who doesn't like a rainbow? It is absolutely beautiful. And so I said, you know what? Let's be creative here. Let's take nature, blend that together with life, and create a story.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Blending that nature with life, indeed. That's right, indeed. Create a whole wonderful story, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So, I guessing, did you choose to write a kid's book first because of your profession, or because some folks they usually go a different route? They may go like a whole grown adult novel, maybe even a kid's novel. Like, what inspired you to go the kids route first?
It was a need because I deal with children. And we were on the subject of immigrants. And some of my brown kids didn't realize that we had people in other countries that looked just like them. And so I had to depict that on paper to let them know you could travel the world and find someone that looks like you. And so I wanted to open that window, that door for them as well, to let them know that there's a whole world out there for you. You just have to go out there and try it. And so that is where this partly came about, because I want my kids to know that there are people of every nationality in pretty much every country that you go to. And so a lot of kids that never travel outside their area, their communities, are unaware of that. And when they see things on TV about immigrants, they get a negative narrative. And I wanted to change that negative and let them know that people come to this country, the United States, that are not poor. You have people that come here that looks like you, successful people. So don't just because the news depicted as a negative, it's not necessarily a negative narrative. So I wanted to change that and let them embrace that. The other cultures embrace it.
Ah, yeah, that's right. With open arms and legs. That's right. The full hug indeed. That's right. Embrace it. That's right, indeed. Embrace it. Because you're so darn right. Like, that's one of the major things that I'm not a fan of when it comes to the news. It's like when they show the countries. If it's not like a travel destination, they always show the negative parts of it just to get folks like excited in a bad way. And it's good that you actually went that route to show kids like, hey, there's more folks that look like you overseas, y'all. That's right, indeed. Got to get out and explore.
Exactly. And with my daycare kids, because I tend to travel um, every year until COVID, I always say, well, where should I go? And when I leave the country, I always could bring back with me some type of art, some type of food that I can travel with to show them the difference. This is how the art is depicted over there. This is food that they eat. And I also try to get little recipes to cook those little things for them so they can taste something different than what their norm is. And they actually love it. So the whole thing is, well, where are you going next? Well, what are you going to bring back this time? So, to open and expound their minds.
There you go. That's right. Expand their minds. Indeed. That's right. Indeed. So my goodness, so since you've been helping the kids so much, what would you consider two big lessons that the kids have taught you?
Kids teach me to always be open um, because they're so honest and they have 9,000 questions, and giving them an honest answer is what they appreciate most, and unconditional love.
Oh yeah, that's right. Being open indeed. That's right. Gotta be open. That's right. Any other lessons that stuck out to you?
Unconditional love, and that they appreciate. They're very appreciative, and the love that they show you is so touching, because they love you for who you are, and they look up to you. You're their mentor, so they have high expectations of you as their mentor. So being the first teacher is so important, that you plant a seed and water that seed and let that seed grow and blossom.
Sweet. That's right. The blossoms indeed. That's right. Magical blossoms for the kids. That's right indeed. Because yeah, that's one of the best things about teaching the kids that hey, you get to learn some stuff and you get to be reminded like, hey, the joys of life of being around folks who have no filters.
And you just take it all in. You're just like, okay, wasn't expecting that. But let me answer that question for you.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. They're probably the best life coaches ever. That's right. Because they never
We
forget
are.
anything either.
Right, because they teach us as well. We're teaching them, but they're teaching us also. And a lot of people, what they tend to forget is just because they're kids, they're humans. They have expressions, they have emotions, and we also need to be respectful and mindful of that as well.
That's right. That's right indeed. Never forget. Never forget indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, so you got this wonderful book out thanks to your travels and wanting to expand little ones' minds. Is there another book on the horizon after this one? Because I'm pretty sure you probably got a whole series or a trilogy waiting to come out into the world.
It is, and it will be out before the end of the year. And I am so excited about it. The message in it is amazing. It just makes me smile. The next one coming out, it's like a wow, a woohoo. It takes you beyond your limits. It allows you to know that you can do more than what you actually expect. So don't limit yourself. You have to put in the work to get to where you want to go. Don't want to give too much away, but it's a good one.
Okay, all right. So there you go. So no limit. Is that the message, the main message of the book, or is it still fully G14 classified?
Well, in my stories, there's always more than one message because life has more than one message. So if you can infuse more than one message in one book, why not? So that's only one of the many messages that is in the next book. I will give another little snippet. It's all about inclusive. Everybody should be included, no matter what your ability or your disabilities are.
Uh, it's funny because when you said inclusivity, it reminded me of one of our past guests, I believe, Anne Marie Schrouder, and she, or so, or, well, I called her the dibs officer because apparently there's a whole big acronym for it now. It's diversity, inclusion, belonging, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, this is so it's not like not just including, but helping kids feel like they belong. So it's like, hey, you're helping the kids to call dibs.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so important that those lessons are taught to kids. And a lot of those lessons are taught at home. They're taught through books. And that's why it's important as an author that you deliver those messages for them in a manner that they understand.
Oh, yes, right indeed. So speaking of art, I'm pretty sure there's some folks listening who may one day want to publish a book, especially a book for the kids. So any advice for those aspiring children's authors out there?
Yes, I think that, well, know your audience is the most important thing. And when you're writing, make sure you're writing to that specific audience and make sure it's within their language that they understand on their levels. Because some people tend to write a story and they have it under the age bracket of 7 and 8. And in all essence, it's really 5 to 6. So you want to make sure you target your audience and make your story relatable.
Ah, there you go, folks. That's right indeed. Know your audience, make sure it's relatable. That's right indeed. You can't talk about the coffee monster all the time, y'all. That's right.
Yeah, and always do your homework. Put an effort in it. Go 100% on it. Make it good. Make it inspiring. Put some emotion in it because that's very important. That's what makes it relatable. You can't have a book that's just mellow, or that's monotone because we as people, we're not monotone. We have emotions. We are expressive. You have to be able to deliver that in your book as well.
Ah, that's right indeed. That's right indeed. Not everybody can be Ben Stein clear eyes, folks. That's right. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. We don't do that here. That's right. Gotta have that flavor. Gotta have that spice. That's right indeed.
Exactly.
That's right
Yes.
indeed. You gotta have Old Bay and seasoning salt. That's right.
Mix it up. Mix it up. I agree 100%.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, so speaking of inspiring the masses and the molasses, what would you consider your greatest setback that actually became your greatest success?
COVID, COVID-19, because it allowed me to take a pause and allowed me to sit and allowed me to write this book. Had COVID not happened, I wouldn't have had that moment of pause because the kids were at home with their families, which allowed me that moment of peace to dissect and to engage in this writing experience.
Sweet. That's right. Plus time to get the book done, right?
Exactly. That was my pause. Sit down, focus, write. And I think actually with for a lot of people, COVID allowed them to take a pause in life and reflect. And I wasn't like grateful that I caught COVID, but I was grateful for the time that allowed me to sit still and allowed me to sit and write this book
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's the beauty about COVID. It induced the new book boomer era. We had the baby boomers last century, got the book boomers this century. That's right indeed. The book boom, baby. That's right indeed.
Right. Reflection time. It was a lot of reflection for a lot of people, because we no longer could just go, go, go. We actually had to take time to sit.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. Got to look in that mirror, be like, yeah, that's right, it's me. Oh darn, it is me.
Right. Yeah, it put my travels on pause and I was like, wow, and I had to reflect. Well, I was grateful that I went here and I got to travel here, before this horrific disease uh, happened. So it really made me reflect on a lot of things that I was doing prior to, and travel is really big for me. And it made me say, I'm grateful that I live here in the States. I'm grateful for the times that I've traveled. I'm grateful that my travels allowed me to put that in writing for kids that has never had that opportunity or may never have that opportunity to travel. But because of my story and the illustrations of my book, it's very, very relatable.
That's what I'm talking about indeed. That's right indeed. Gotta keep it relatable indeed. That's right indeed. Gotta relate to the humans, y'all. That's right. Gotta relate to the humans. So my goodness, so since you've been on a couple interviews promoting this marvelous book, is there a question that you wish folks would ask you more often when you're on these interviews?
I think I probably answered it. Most of them is your inspiration. And my inspiration is my kids. Their little minds are sponges. And we have to fill those sponges with positivity. And they're amazing people, humans. They're amazing little people that have big thoughts. And I think it's important that we take time out to engage in those thoughts and answers those questions to those little people.
That's right. That's right indeed. She loves the kids, y'all. That's right indeed. Big
It is
inspiration right
all
there.
about them. Because realistically, they're our future. They are our now, but they will be our tomorrow. So we have to build them up for their tomorrow.
Oh yeah, she's right, y'all. That's right indeed. Got to build them up. That's right indeed. Them sponges. That's right indeed. Them soft bricks right there, y'all. That's right. Got to build them up. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Got to make sure you drop all that good liquid in their minds, y'all. The good liquid. That's right indeed. That's why
Yes.
she's teaching the kids. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Heck, even when they're sponges, they're sponge cake too. That's right. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So, speaking of sponge cake, if your wonderful book, There's a Rainbow in Everyone, if that book was a food, what would it be and why?
It would probably be an orange because it is full of vitamins and it's bright and it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah, she was ready for that question.
And it tastes good.
That's right. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. They taste good, indeed. That vitamin C. That's right. It'll fight off scurvy. That's right. That's right, indeed. So when your kid's playing pirate, she's got you covered. That's right. This book is that orange for
Get that orange. That's right. That's right. Here's that orange. Get that energy. Let's go. Let's go. Open your brains. Open your brains. Absorb it. Absorb it. Yes.
Yeah, that's right indeed. That's right. The book will prevent scurvy, y'all. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Get that energy, that vitamin C, y'all. That's right indeed. That rainbow indeed. Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive. And that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but you're still in 2022, what advice would you give to yourself?
What advice would I give to myself? Live life to the fullest. take life lessons and apply them.
Yeah. That's right. Apply those lessons, y'all. That's right, indeed. That's right. Apply it. Grab them lessons like duct tape, y'all. That's right. Apply it. That's right, indeed.
And I say that because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Take that lesson that someone's giving you, take that advice and apply it because that could stop a lot of bumps in your road. And as teachers, we give lessons every day. And expectation is that our students apply those lessons. So in their learning process, it's easier because they took the steps to apply the things that they're being taught.
Oh, yeah. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right. You heard it from the teacher herself, y'all. That's right, indeed. Heard it from the teacher herself, indeed. That's right.
Yeah, as a teacher, it always comes back to teaching for some odd reason. We teach.
Hey, I'm all for it. That's why teachers are some of the best folks ever. That's right. Always got that wisdom to impart in one way or another. That's right, indeed. One of the hardest professions ever.
Yes. Absolutely correct. But I wouldn't change it.
Woohoo! That's right. She wouldn't change it, y'all. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So, for those who need to keep up with all the changes that are coming your way with the future books and projects that you're launching, and folks need to keep up with them, what's the best way for folks to do so?
You can find my book on Amazon. You can Google it. There's various platforms online where it can be purchased. Most of us use Amazon, so that's why I readily said Amazon, but it's out there. And the new one's coming right behind for the end of the year. What is the best gift that you can give someone? Is a gift to read. So give the kids something that's engaging, that's relatable. Give them my book. What more can you give them that's better than a book? Christmas is coming. There's books available. Great books. My book. Give the kids a book to read over the winter break. Keep them engaged with reading.
Yeah, that's right, indeed. That's right. That winter Kit Kat is coming, y'all. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. That winter break, indeed. That's right, indeed. That Christmas, y'all. That's right, indeed. If the present's gonna be wrapped in shiny, might as well make sure everything else is shiny indeed. That's right, indeed, like this marvelous book. So, right, folks. We're gonna put the links to her book in the show notes today so you can cop some copies of it and keep up with all that she is doing and subscribe to her mailing list as well so you can stay updated on all the things. That's right, all the good things indeed. That's right, indeed. They're so good. They're good with three O's indeed. It's good.
Right.
That's
And
right,
they can
indeed.
always reach out to me on my email. I'm sorry, on my website, which is jatasbooks.com. Very easy. Remember my name, reach out.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. Sarah the lady, you heard her. You heard her herself. Reach out indeed. Go to that wonderful website. Indeed. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, any parting words before we close up shop?
I would just like to say thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. And just to all the listeners out there, engage your kids in reading. It's so important. That's a valuable thing that you can give to your kids is a gift to read. Because if they can read, they can see beyond their community and realize that there's a whole world of things and people out there that may expound them to go beyond this area, there, the US, to travel abroad, to meet other individuals and find like-minded people in other countries. So give your kids the gift to read.
Thanks a bunch for gifting us with your time and your ears to this podcast. If you want to make yourself even more super special awesome, like, subscribe, and share this with somebody that you care about and spread the word so that way we can get this show out to as many people as possible and encourage them and inspire them to one day become published authors of their own and join the business of immortality. Advance others to advance yourself.